I think just the Forestville, of course, have a good team, but there's a few young faces, in my opinion. I think there's a bit too much experience in the Sabres side, of course. Danny Angley, Kayla Matthews, they've all been around the league for ages. And of course, Kylie Smith, their import, has been strong, 20 points a game from her.
It's game time!
Manson on the fence, Scott just jump in there, Sturt by 5. Called early, we are about ready to go. Ladies and gentlemen, the 2019 Premier League final is underway. Forestville will have first bite at it. Looking to find something around the perimeter, kick out, jumper, splash.
Ooh. Quick start.
First points go to the Forestville Eagles.
And that's Amy Brett with the early 3. She started very fast last week as well to get them in through the prelim.
Sturt again, looking around the outside. Early nervous minutes from both of them. Pull-up jumper is good. Sturt, come back.
And that's Alyssa Brett on the other side as well. Is a turnover too.
And the turnover to Sturt. Goes hard at it. Thinks he was asking for a foul, but we are playing. There's a playoff whistle out there. It's a finals whistle. It stayed in the pocket. So Forestville just taking an early lead just because they went from beyond the arc. Sturt working hard, trying to find an opening. Lay up too strong.
You'll see a lot of her tonight, Chelsea Roberts.
Forestville will look, just try and make themselves an opening again. Kick out again, thought about it, had half a mind to pull the trigger. Now they're going to have to shot clock down off the front of the iron.
Ooh.
Little bit of a clash. It's going to be Forestville ball. So Scott, opening moments really, any thoughts?
No, both teams getting the ball moving from side to side. Everybody's getting a touch. So they'll just be working the nerves out early. Both teams seem to want to play man off the inbound. So, yeah, nothing too crazy so far.
So Forestville with the inbound. Down into that low post, little fade away, too strong as well. Did well to kick it back out and keep the possession Forestville's way. No real space, drives the paint. Puts it up, nothing again. Finals refereeing is there.
Yeah, tough basketball inside so far. No one really finding the upper hand early.
2 O boards and nothing to show for it.
So Forestville with a chance to just up the tempo somewhat. Sturt have done well, but there is the first one of the night.
2 huddles quite close to each other. Of course, we've seen the two Bretts having plenty of contact early. Of course, there was a big collision in the middle there before. Good to see everyone get up, but yeah, no real indication so far where this one's going to go, which is what you'd expect.
Sturt just doing everything they can to keep Forestville on the perimeter, on the travel. Both coaches spending the majority of the time in the seats so far. I imagine we'll see them start to roam the sideline as we move through this game.
Once it gets a bit more tense, they'll be up and about.
Both teams doing a good job at just protecting the paint at the moment. Another drive, that one will go up, that one is good.
Captain's points, Kayla Matthews there, strong. Use the body. Sturt moving.
As far as the point,
getting the second chance points, but Porter pulling up. Of course, there were a few where you look like she.
Amber Cowkin checking in for the Eagles, replacing Gabby Vidmar, shooter for shooter. Both young young girls work their way through the 16s and 18s at Forestville.
Yeah, and Amber Cow can go to Melbourne next week for the Indigenous All-Stars. That'll be exciting.
That'll be really good for her.
Kick out for 3. It's on the way. Just bounces off. Rebound from Hamilton. Again, they're forced to look around the outside. Then they will feed it in. Nice. Cut pass. Have to go out again. Pull up from the elbow. On the hand, so we'll see the first shots from the charity stripe. So just while we have this break, you were talking before, Scott, about the youth of Forestville and their program, their youth program.
Yeah, they've been led very, very well in the 18s and 16s over the years by a lot of good coaches, and gone to Melbourne the last couple of years and won the National Classics as well. They've always got state reps, and 3 of them left earlier this year to go to college. So this team looking very different to the way it started the year.
Yeah, and you talk about other players as well. Sam Simons isn't one of those 3. She's gone to college.
Yeah.
Juliet Gordon, it's another one. Just year after year, they just find more talent, and they all come through. They're actually probably missing those 3. You said Katia, Stamatalopoulos, Ella Sawyer, and Hannah Hank. Those 3. Ella Sawyer 4th in assists in the league, I think, so far this year as well. So quality players that they are missing, but a strong team.
Indeed, very deep.
So 100% from the line pushes Forestville out to an 11 points to 6 lead. Under 5 minutes to go in that first quarter, and can't sit on that obviously, but the start that we had where it was really cagey, they're starting to just free up a little bit now. First one is good.
Be interesting to see how this game pans out. Of course, they're the highest scoring team, Forestville, the stingiest team in the league. Not by much, but it will be a bit of a battle of defense. Of course, Forestville only scored 62 in their win against Mount Gambier last week. That was a gritty affair, a tough win.
Good work into the key again, and Sturt managing to turn it away. She will drive baseline, but just stepped on the line.
Chelsea Roberts was in a fascinating battle last week against someone, her namesake, Pachiana Roberts. They were going at it the entire match, and it was good to see 2 forwards just giving it everything. Of course, Chelsea having the last laugh, and she's here tonight. Be interesting to see how she matches up.
Good seal down low.
Great finish from underneath the basket as well. Defender absolutely draped all over her. Good strong defence from Matthews. Then inside, just nice little feed. Then they will go back. Just can't get anything to go at the moment. Trying to find space. There is space. Look, puts it down, pulls the trigger. Bullseye.
Faking out an import guard as well. Impressive from Brett.
Kick out again, then round the perimeter. Smith drove, gave it off. Then they will kick it out, wide open. That's what happens.
It's what you call a captain's triple from Kayla Matthews. Big 3-pointer to keep her side in it and tie things up.
And again, the effort on the baseline drive, and turned away by Sturt. Starting to get a little bit of a stranglehold on this quarter. Underneath, and one.
This is what the Sturt girls can put on. I was wondering if we're going to see them anywhere near their 81 points a game, but now they're starting to click. It's looking good for them.
Well, 15 points to 13 with 1 to come. Strong finish. Just wonder whether Forestville coach just talking to some of their players. The finishing, again, it's such a long game, but there's 4 or 5 attempts.
It is, and as a coach sometimes you think it can get contagious and you think far out, the yips are on everyone, but they certainly have had some easy feet and some easy points in the paint they haven't converted.
Forestville will look again. Again, just trying to get into a post position with Hamilton. Decides to go up the top, tried to finish, but the foul is there, and she'll visit the strike for 2.
Good pass from Gabby Vidmar there to get the lob over the top.
Yeah, Sturt immediately put on the pump as that pass came in. And Hamilton shoots around 50% from the free throw line, so it'll be interesting to see how she takes these chances. She was good last week. She had about 3 of 5, I'd say. So
first one wiped its feet, but got in eventually.
We talk so much about free throws, but they decide matches.
They do indeed.
There's no other way around it, is there?
100% from the line. Matthews with a nice move round the back, and then just trying to find the outlet, couldn't quite get there. Roberts again takes control. Can they work really hard to get into that low post, which they do. Intercepted. Sturt will go now. Forestville did well to get back in numbers. All got a bit messy in the end, and Sturt just had to settle it down. Turnaround jumper came off the front iron, and Forestville happy to slow it down again.
Well, that's Forestville's game, just harassing the Sturt players. They've got to keep at that and keep up that tempo if they're going to stand a chance tonight.
Good feed in again, but no foul there. Sturt will come away. Again, just go back to a point that you both made, where Sturt obviously the highest scoring team in the league, and then Forestville the best defensively. And I think we're starting to see that the two types of games. So from a coaching point of view, Scott, what do you do when you know you're coming up against a team that's notoriously hard to score against?
I think they've got to keep doing what they're doing. Pound the ball inside. Forestville are doing the right thing, giving it into their big, making sure that Hamilton gets touches and then playing off that. They just haven't been able to convert very well at all, and we can see now Coach Bello going deeper into the bench with, I think, Amy Cotton coming in as well. So you got to stick to your game plan, move the ball and get uncontested looks.
Interesting to see Monica Bello going deeper into her bench so quickly. That didn't happen last week against a much... the Pioneers only play 6 deep. Sturt play about 11 deep. So interesting to see how she just manages her side across the course of this match.
I think it's always good in a big game knowing that you're going to go 8 or 9 deep to maybe get everybody in the first quarter, settle the nerves, knowing that if you need them later on, they've had a touch and they can understand the pace of the game.
Denied on the baseline. Hamilton started to earn a paycheck tonight.
Yeah, she's starring so far. You take this performance. She hasn't been at her best the entire season. There's a lane.
Great sub by the Eagles.
Set the screen. Hamilton set the screen and opened up the lane.
Yeah.
We're starting to see the beginnings of a full court press from the Falcons. Smith shows and drives, and then has to take on the imperious Hamilton. Hamilton just stands in the way, one-on-one. Turnaround off the front iron, no good. Defensive rebound for Sturt. Another 3-on-2.
Yeah, Hamilton's blown up there. She was lucky to get over halfway coming down. Would have been good to see her on the O-boards there, but she's blowing pretty hard.
Yeah.
Hands on the hips.
Yeah, well, she's managed to outrun her opposition, Tall Timber.
Yeah, she has.
In Williamston, but now she's got to go.
Yeah. The thing about Sturt is they have Sarima in there as well to back him up, and Kylie Smith can, of course, do the job as well if needed, so it'll be interesting.
There's no place for the wicket in there at the moment.
They had the Tall Timber, good double team there, but Amy Cotton just bringing her hands down. But Hamilton's a presence. Every time the ball goes inside, she puts her arms up to be at least 6'6", and she is causing some big concerns defensively.
You have to think this might completely change Marcus Wong's game plan for the match as well. Of course, Hamilton was a bit of an X factor tonight, so having an impact so quickly, so early, definitely is giving Wong a few questions to answer.
Absolutely.
Well, it's a really interesting point that you make, where you said that she's causing problems defensively, but she struggled to get over halfway offensively. At what point do you bring her down and then lose her defensively, or do you allow her to just almost play half court?
Nah, you can't. You'd have to give her some rest, but they would have looked up and seen there was only 18, 19 seconds to go in the quarter and thought she'll get to the quarter and maybe they'll rest her a minute after that. If not, the minute break at quarter time might be enough.
So Forestville looking for last shot. Kids are still counting down, even though we've got shot clocks everywhere here tonight. From the right outside. That's about as good as it gets. 3 points right on the buzzer. Forestville push it out to a 22 points to 17 lead at the end of the first quarter. Ladies and gentlemen, sit back and enjoy the best of women's basketball in Adelaide.
Yeah, big from the youngster Rebecca Frisbee-Smith, standing up tall at the end of the first quarter. I mean, she'd been given permission to fire, and fire she did.
She averages 2.5 points a game. She's already got 4. So, yeah, she's having a night out already.
If you're going to have a night out, the grand final is a night to do it.
100%.
So, Benito, your thoughts on that first quarter where you can't call anything in basketball, but it's about as good as we're going to see tonight. It's so competitive, and we've said attack versus defense is the quintessential perfect matchup.
Well, if Forestville go ahead and put up 80, 85, 90 points a game, then up into the tip of their head to win this game. They've got points on the board early, and that's all in their favour. And if they can just continue to stick close and grind away, to be honest, I think they'd probably want to build it. Of course, they'd want to build a lead, but just will be interesting to see how Marcus Wong fires back here. He's got the players at his arsenal. He's got a Sapphire's representative in Ruby Porter. Be interesting to see how she's used as well.
Right at the beginning of the game, you said Sturt by 5. Has that changed?
No. I'll stick with it. Although defensively, they've got to get going. They give up 64 points a game. And as Benito was saying, Forestville sitting on 22 at the minute. If they're going to get in the 70s and 80s, they're going to be hard to stop. And at the minute, every time Coach Bellows called a sub, something's happened. Frisbee-Smith's done well. Hamilton's done well. So, yeah, Eagles looking good, but I'll stick with Sturt for now.
Okay, I'm going to come back to you at each break and see whether that changes. So Hamilton has remained on the floor. It took that minute for her was enough to get her back, and Sturt is staying with Moon to take on Hamilton.
I think it's a slow burn for Hamilton throughout this match.
They'd have to keep going back inside. 66%, 6 points, keep going to her.
Thought about it and then just came back. Hamilton again trying to hand it off the... The Sturt look to answer back. Underneath again, and outside just comes off the front, and Hamilton will clear up the mess.
It's the second shot Ruby's missed from the same spot.
Good drive, just couldn't get it up and over enough, and Smith will rebound and launch Sturt, and they can get into the key before Hamilton can get there. Kick out to the 3-point line. It's on its way, just doesn't make it. So it's just, that's possibly going to be something they do. They have to transition quick enough and get there before Hamilton gets back.
Yeah, definitely. But you saw the teammates just run back and fill up
Lovely
that
outlet pass 3 is on its way off the back iron.
Gabby Vidmar with the specky.
Yeah,
on the foul.
Comes from a multi-talented family.
She does.
There's no AFL in that.
No.
But of course her dad, Aurelio, the famous football player, and mum Sarah, the netball player as well. So
very good pedigree.
Yeah, I was just about to say, comes from a good trainer's yard. So 24 points to 17. We do have a timeout, and there'll be free throws as we come back. You were handed the stats. You were both handed the stats at the end of the quarter. Anything jump out at you?
The thing I noticed is both teams had taken 17 shots, a little bit better percentage from the Eagles. And then the rebound count at the minute. Forestville 14-7 for Sturt, starting to control the glass early.
Anything jump out at you, or we'll just agree with the great man?
Yeah, he pointed out the rebounds, and it's really looking the difference. I guess Sturt just have to shut that down. Maybe try Williamson again, although she did get shut down pretty heavily by Hamilton. It's hard to manage for Wong, and he's just got to, without your outside shooters quite firing yet as well, it just makes life a little bit difficult.
We talked about Monica's subs and the effectiveness they've had. Forestville at the minute, bench points 13-2. So going to look for Marcus to get disruptive soon. Maybe traps, maybe zones, maybe double some on balls. Just do something different so Forest will have to get different looks.
I did notice as well they are still staying pretty one-on-one with Hamilton, because obviously you don't want to, if you double it, you're leaving somebody.
Yeah.
And they're quite happy with Moon and Williamson trying to deal with her at the moment.
They are. They may go with Lizzie again just to put some more height out there, but he didn't stay with that too long. But yeah, Forest will keep pounding the ball inside. They're going to give them big trouble.
So Sturt will look to just chew into the deficit at the moment. Nice crossover, and then goes out to Smith.
3 seconds.
Kind of had to pull the trigger and did. Nobody goes for the rebound. Offensive board. Not the prettiest, but they all count on the stat line. Nice drive and layup, and that is something that the Sabres needed. So it looks like Hamilton is going to go to work down low again. This time she will distribute. And an assist to that.
Gabby Vidmar was sitting on that three-point line begging for the ball to get swung, but as soon as it went inside, backed up nicely and got 2 points.
Yeah.
A little bit up and under, and Williamson, Hamilton will come up with it again. And we are calling her name a lot, and there's a reason for that. She has been the difference. Indeed. She's going to work down low again against Spoon. Too easy at the moment. Coach Wong has to do something.
What he has to do is start sending her right.
Yeah.
She's spinning back on that left hand every single time. Everybody knows, and here comes Lizzie again to try and curb it, but everybody knows she wants to go left. You've got to send her to her right hand and see what happens.
Kick out to the free throw line, and that one is good enough. I think if you are Oceana Hamilton, you realise that there's no basketball left as of tomorrow for a while, so run yourself into the ground, young lady.
Sturt in a 2-3 zone now.
Picked off, fast break opportunity. Can she get there? Up and in. Angley with the layup.
Yeah, Danny Angley standing tall as well. She had 23 points against Forestville in that 15-point win a couple of weeks ago. So standing strong. And
whistle goes. I think that's just an official's timeout. I don't think there was anything there. Just Angley just falling awkwardly.
Angley very important to this Sturt Sabres lineup. She was in and out throughout the year, and perhaps they weren't at their best because of it. Look at that substitution.
Wow.
Running through. I saw Marcus Wong before. He was yelling. I've never really seen him off the bench that passionate before. So ringing the changes.
Gemma Westhoff coming in and giving the MVP at this current time, Hamilton a rest. But if I'm Coach Bello, she subs herself back in as soon as she's ready.
Yeah. 30 seconds.
It's almost comical to counter the subs that Wong was making to try and nullify her as well.
Well, now Sturt have that advantage with Williamson in exactly the same. She's just a presence in that key.
Penetration happened. They saw Lizzie and thought better of it.
Yeah. It's a fair amount of humour to try and go over. Angley again. Kicks out, wide open. Bench rises, bench cheers. They needed that one.
That's big. Kate Gladstone standing tall in her first touch off the bench as well. Getting a few good looks for the Sabres from outside. Definitely going to that three-point game despite not having the most success so far, but they can get a few more of them to go. They're going to pull this deficit back. I mean, if they get one more, they're going to pull the deficit back, so it will be interesting.
She's 30% from the three-point line for the season, so no stranger to shooting the ball from that far out.
So about 6 minutes left to go on this, and just a moment where we started to see Marcus Wong, and you said you very rarely see him up and about, but he's starting to really get up and about, and had a fairly long conversation with the officials. I'm not entirely sure what it was about, but he, you know, and I think as a player, they want to see their coach invested in this as much as they are now.
Absolutely. numerous times over seasons that I've coached, players' feedback are, you don't ride the referees hard enough, you got to get onto the refs. And sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't, but you know, the game's nice and close. I don't think he's got anything to be too worried about from a refereeing point of view, but talking to him and getting your point across never hurts.
So, as we said, just under 6 minutes to go. 3 points the difference. Hamilton is still resting. Williamson out there for Sturt. It's been the story so far, really, how well Hamilton has played. Drives in round the corner, interesting looking shot, and that's forced by Williamson. Williamson's going to get to turn and distribute. Angley. Now Williamson works down low. And she will score.
And here comes Hamilton straight back in.
Yep.
Coach Bello's seen enough of Lizzie scoring down low.
And interestingly enough, this isn't really Forestville's game either. So we're watching quite probably unexpected turn of events unfold here at Titanium Security Arena.
There's a finger on that, and I think that might have just been enough to keep that one out. Be a Forestville ball though.
Good defensive pressure. Gabby's first look from the three-point line. I don't think she got dragged for the miss, but it was just coincidental.
So we see Hamilton and Williamson go at it again. Certainly round one definitely went to Hamilton. She's going to have to work hard again. It kind of looked like a double team down low.
And Lizzie took away that left hand and she did not want to shoot it on the right.
From way out, didn't go. Angley with the drive, Angley with the finish. And the Sabres hit the front. Inside again.
Left hand.
Yeah, she manages, if she gets on that left, she will cause problems.
Yeah. 12 points, 4 rebounds.
Sturt again. They will go to Williamson. Williamson versus Hamilton. Williamson can't get it to go. Ends up in the yellow shirt to Forestville. Wide pass. Drives hard, kick out. Steps inside, good block. Denied on the outside, but the second time shot comes in.
Costa thought she did enough with the first block, but it just spilled out to Roberts, and she makes that one count.
3.5 minutes to go.
Sturt worked hard to get and take the lead again. Williamson finds herself in a mismatch. Caught on the hand though. There's the block from
and just a second foul so far in this quarter as well. Has been pretty free-flowing in that sense. We see Williamson head back off. She's done her job for the quarter, it should seem, but Hamilton's still on. Can Forestville extend this lead?
They will go all the way out to the top, had the time. Came off though. Good pass into the paint. So again, Forestville will have to start, try and build, pull-up jumper, not quite there. Hamilton couldn't get hands on. Good job of boxing out. Try and keep Hamilton out the way. Last off, Sturt.
Yeah, just a misplaced pass there from Gladstone, but Sturt's depth really beginning to show. Of course, they've gone almost, I'd say, 10 deep, have they gone already? But Lauren Gibbons on court now. She's the league reserves MVP, so a bit of quality to have coming on late in the second term as well.
Frisbee Smith back in for the Eagles too. Her first little 3-minute stint resulted in 5 points. Let's see how she goes in the next 240.
Screen was set, work, got the shot away. The shot just didn't go for them, and Sturt, it gives them a chance. Big collision underneath. And the charging foul goes the Forest way, and the bench rises up.
Strong from Chelsea Roberts. Took the contact. Referee adjudicated that she was set, and Forestville have a chance to keep their noses in front. They know they haven't scored as freely this term, only on 34 points now. I guess 12 points for the quarter so far.
Yeah,
So
I think Marcus would be happy with what the zone's done for him so far. It's got him back into the game, and Forestville haven't exactly dropped too many triples to give him any concern. Good double team.
Yeah, they get it down low again, but again the double team will come. Now they've got a little bit of space on the outside. Drive again, loses it, just throws it up in hope more than anything else. And Sturt can come away again, and Sturt get the foul. Brett driving hard. So another substitution. Hamilton almost looked longingly at the bench at that point.
Yeah, when you see another tall girl come in, if you're that player, you think, is it going to be me? But no, afraid not.
First one is good.
Sturt are going to get Ruby Porter in that second half as well. She's on the bench with no points at the minute and 2 fouls, so it'll be interesting to see if she can spark them come the third.
This is the second one. Then a foul. So 2 minutes to go in the half. Pull-up jumper, good enough, too much time, too much space.
Against that zone, you want to get to the foul line. You want to get into that gap, and they did that really well there for those two.
Good drive, kick out to Smith, puts it on the floor, works back, trying to find a little bit more space with Matthews, then it will kick out for the three.
Ooh, jump ball.
Who's going to go get it?
Oh, good point.
they've got the manual arrow, not even the digital one, up the top there.
I did see the nice little retro jump ball.
Yeah, the laminated arrow.
Retro jump ball arrow.
Yep, so stays in first possession. How long will it take to get down? I'm calling 20 more seconds.
You've got to give him another.
In a late, I think in the men's game.
He scored with it.
In the men's game, there'll be 10 players lining up to get it out of there, but ladies are conserving energy.
They are the regulation 10-footers. Start putting themselves under pressure. Corner three, didn't have the legs. Hamilton, rebound and outlet. Sturt did well to transition back and prevent anything too deadly happening. They'll go inside again. She got on the left, she couldn't find her outlet pass. Matthews did very, very well. Matthews will pull up. Sends it infield to Smith. They'll get the foul. And that'll be about it, though.
Yeah, perhaps Hamilton's one criticism of her is she does telegraph her passes sometimes, and she can be read pretty easily, I guess, with her feet in the paint as well. She looks to where she's passing the ball and plays smart to read it, though.
Matthews inside of Hamilton. Hamilton said, "Don't you dare. Not tonight, young lady." I mean, that's confidence to have a go at her.
Yeah.
I don't think she got off the ground and she still blocked it.
Yeah, nearly put it through the floor as well.
Good old volleyball spike. If you're going to block it properly.
Exactly.
Outside. Had an opening. Kick to the top. Free ball. Off the back iron. And out of bounds.
To take that shot, though, if you're Chelsea Roberts, of course, led the league in three-point percentage last year, playing for the Norwood Flames. Comes over to Forestville. Took a while to get warmed up, but quality basketball, and one that you'll see the ball going, particularly into the match as well, when basketball, the references.
Another foul.
Look at that one, Hamilton did feed across.
Yeah, maybe just before, but goes back again.
Forestville are going to try and get lashed So welcome to our little halftime show. Scott, they've given you the stats again. Anything that jumps out on you massively?
Of course, Hamilton's performance so far, 12 points and 5 rebounds at 83%. I think the ones she's missed are maybe the ones they've pushed back onto her right hand, but she's been devastating. The rebound count has come back. Forestville still leading 25-21, but 10 offensive rebounds for the Eagles. And then we talked at quarter time about the benches. Sturt's bench now contributing as the bench scoring's 19-12 in Forestville's way.
And that was something you mentioned, and you did mention as well, you said that the coach of Sturt, Eddie Wong, has to do something, and he seemed to, because we're ended up tied up, so he's done something.
Yeah, well, you noticed Hamilton changed the game, and then, of course, Sturt brought things back, kind of brought it under control, maybe a fraction, changed their own game plan, adapted, and then came back into the game, brought things level. So it'll be interesting to see how Wong continues to try and shift things his way. It's just an ever-changing chess battle at the moment. It doesn't look like ending anytime soon.
Yeah, and so what was interesting, and I'll just come back to you for this, what was interesting is that second stint of Hamilton wasn't as damaging as the first one. Good coaching.
Yeah, and I also think fatigue is starting to set in as well. Remember, we've seen Sturt now go to a zone, so clogging up the middle a little bit, occasionally forcing her back to her right hand. And then the time that Lizzie spent on the floor as well, 6'4", once her arms go up in the air, she's, 6'8".
Well, she started to come into it alone, Williamson. So, okay, so who do you think, and we talked about as well, Benito, there's a player on the bench, she got herself in a little bit of foul trouble, so she's got a lot more to give in this second half. Do you expect to see Sturt start to put their dominance down?
Well, Ruby Porter is a player who with so many accolades for a girl of her age. So you'd expect her to move in, take a few shots, maybe from some different spots on the three-point line, maybe driving inside as well. She's good in both facets of her game. So I think that'll be an interesting way, to see how Wong puts her in and changes things up a little bit there too. And of course, Forestville on the other side, we talked about their shooters, Gabby Vidmar, Amber Kaukin, haven't quite fired yet. So still definitely arrows in the quiver for both sides in this one.
I like arrows in the quiver. That's
Too much Game of Thrones.
Don't leave arrows in the quiver.
No,
you never want to
that.
leave arrows in the quiver.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, please thank you very much for joining us. We'll be right back for quarter number 3. So welcome back. There we go, the aerial pictures of the Titanium Security Arena. That is where we are right now. It's a great little venue. It's a great little. It's not that little.
Yeah,
it's a great venue. Certainly the biggest venue I've ever worked in. Deceptive from the outside because it sort of sits down. It sunks down. Great venue.
Maybe cover up the logos though on the front there.
Is it not?
Of course, the 36ers and Lightning playing at the Entertainment Centre this season, so it should be interesting. But of course, this stadium is more than useful. It's an awesome arena.
So the 36ers and Lightning are moving to the Entertainment Centre?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
They don't even practice here anymore. They're at Port Adelaide.
Well,
there you go.
Sorry, I should say the Lightning will still play here, won't they?
The Lightning will practice here as well.
I feel like I've picked a scab. I shouldn't have.
All good.
Yeah.
So we are getting ready for quarter number 3. One thing I wanted to talk about is we're just having a chat off air, Scott, how Williamson is playing with a brace on her wrist. And I did wonder whether that would affect her in any way. You seem to feel like she's going to be defensively, she'll be okay.
I think defensively she's fine. She's long, she can block shots. Not the biggest offensive weapon, even though he said she's close to 6 points a game. But yeah, she's out there for defense and rebounding.
Speaking of rebounding, up goes Hamilton for an offensive rebound. Just couldn't find it and make it go home.
Yeah, loves that left hook. Be interested to see if she ever tries the right, if she has any, if she has touch on that side as well.
Again, the rebound's almost stolen off. Hamilton did very, very well, and the Sabres can go again. Sorry, the Eagles can go again. Top of the arc, pulls the trigger.
There it is, Benito.
Dang, Vimba.
Benito pulled it.
Love to see it. If she can get going, it's going to be danger stations for the Sabres.
Going to say the three-point shooting of the Sabres to the half was no good, 3 of 13. But Forestville started very well from the three-point line.
And the Sabres go again with Matthews. Matthews finds an opening, kicks it out. Trying to get something. Finally just has to put it up and missed everything. And Forestville will go again. Hamilton will work to the low post, took everybody with her, allowed the three to come. Oh, she off. Well, if you wondered whether there was any feeling in the grand final, she offered the hand to help her up and it was snubbed.
Well, those are the two Bretts as well. So
no love in that family. Interesting to see Ruby Porter starting on the bench too.
She's sitting up for the Lightning again this year, isn't she?
I think so. Frisbee Smith about to check back in for the Eagles.
Nice inside ball and Brett will just reverse it in. Hamilton works again down low, good cut off by Moon. And Sturt can come away. Matthews gives it to Moon, Moon off the glass. Transition will help Sturt, because as good as Hamilton's been, transitionally, she's behind at the moment.
Yeah, every now and then you'll see Sturt just pass the ball without even dribbling all the way up the court. Of course, even when they don't do that, their passing is just so fast.
Going from the outside. Trigger pulled again.
Here she comes.
Vidmar. Deadly from three-point line.
Coach Bellows about to bring Amber Cowkett in as well to give Gabby some support from that three-point line.
Double barrel, call it.
Here it comes.
Splash Sisters, can we go there?
Oh, wow.
It's brave considering Cowkett hasn't hit a shot yet, but if it gets going, you're within your rights to call it the Splash Sisters.
Jump ball was deflected and Hamilton just wasn't alive to it. Allowed Smith to snaffle it up. 2 points the difference. Smith kicks it out. Then the drive. Tried to go over the top of Hamilton again. Moon will work hard underneath. Then they will go to the top. Hamilton came out, put enough pressure on. And again, it's not for the faint-hearted this quarter number 3, Benito.
Yes, all right, Moon. Trying to flick the ball over there, but flicking more of the face of Frisbee Smith there. Oh, well, she's working it out. Frisbee Smith getting more minutes as well for the Eagles. Good to see. And some would say brave for Monica Bello, but she backs her youngsters in, and it's paid off every step of the way. Let's see if it pays off in this grand final.
Good feed from Vidmar, then just lost the handle as she went, had it poked away, so it will still be a Forestville ball.
The crowd really starting to fill up as well.
She's a good looking crowd at the moment.
Everyone coming from the Crows game, which just finished. Ooh.
Interesting from Vidmar. And it'll go Sturt's way. Kind of lost her bearings then.
Yeah, she got inside the keyway and got dizzy. Should have stayed outside on the 3.
Matthews, little crossover, drives, kicks it away. Lots of time on the 3. Didn't quite get there. Moon
Good
again.
contest.
So tonight really has been about the centres for both of these sides. And Moon, as we've seen in this third quarter, has really started to work hard inside.
They've taken away Hamilton's presence, and both ends of the floor now starting to jack some long shots.
Interesting to see Cowkin coming on as well. Last week she had 5 offensive rebounds for the Eagles. Doesn't have the height of Hamilton, but definitely works hard underneath. She earned that jump ball there and Forestville possession. So just expects to see Cowkin have a bit of a role there. She's probably had a few less minutes because Hamilton's been playing so well, to be honest.
Hamilton with a big screen to open up the shot. Didn't quite get there. Sturt will come away. Trying to level it all up again. Wasn't touched, and Forestville will go again. And it's an interesting, it feels like the start of the game again. Everything's just a little bit hectic now.
Yeah, a little bit shaky both ends of the floor. Nothing too clean at the minute.
Hamilton in unfamiliar territory out there. They do manage to work an opening, pull the trigger again. This one's off target. Matthews will go quick. Euro stepped inside. Gives away the foul. Must have got a feet set.
I'd like to see that replay actually. Here it comes.
Oh. Borderline.
Yeah, 50-50 on that one.
I'd say she embraced the contact, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Not entirely sure that the feet were set.
Almost looked like she jumped into it, to be honest.
You can always tell how they fall as to whether they hit them clean in the chest. And it didn't quite look that way.
Forrest for a little stop and go, then we'll kick it out again to Vidmar. Now they'll find Hamilton on that left hand. Moon did enough. Sturt will come away again. Little hesitation move. Moon inside. The block. Hamilton will claim it.
Yeah.
But there was number 3.
Frisbee Smith had a hand as well, I think.
Certainly want to put a hand up and say look that one. They're trying to work inside on Hamilton, pulls the trigger from outside. No good, and Hamilton claims that rebound. Lots of space, kicks out for 3. Travel. Coach is starting to get a little bit more animated as we get into the business end of this one.
Yeah, this is interesting now. Monica Bello's been here before last season's grand final. They fell short against North. Of course, North didn't lose a match all year. Sturt not quite in that category of talent, but a quality outfit as well.
Rolls around, can't get there again. Cowkin comes away with it, and then we'll find Vidmar. Right around the outside, and back to Vidmar. She found herself open, but possibly illegally. I think somebody tried to screen the runner coming across and the old hip and shoulder.
I'd like to see Ruby Porter put the ball on the floor. She's taken another 3. That's 0 from 3. Yet to have a real influence on this game. Good to see her get out in transition or put the ball on the floor and start to trouble the score sheet.
Inside ball over the top. And they get the ball back.
You know you've been blocked hard when it hits you on the head on the way down as well.
It's a good inside ball. Had a little word to her as well as it went behind. Just some running repairs, a little tyre blow up.
How quick do you put a shoe on when you've got thousands of people watching you?
It kills you as a player too. You almost got the shoe on and then you get subbed out. Ref was going to let her put it on and give her the time to do it too.
Good little battle trying to find an opening. Then they will go low. Tried to go over the top. She went and got her own rebound. And we'll get the ball back.
Yeah, that's Calkin working hard again, as we said. Good for a few offensive rebounds a game. So interesting to see how she does. Still with Hamilton on court as well.
Nice little offload, and Porter now will carry. Comes out to Matthews. Matthews will go baseline, then will kick it out. Pass wasn't perfect. Slowed everything down. Matthews goes from outside, can't quite get there. Rebound from Gibbons. Moon will send it out. There's questions as to whether she stood on the line. 2 shots.
You go, Benny.
Yeah, no, I was tracking Ruby Porter on that play as well. She's definitely staying on the outside. I don't know if that's coaching or with her positioning and things like that, but she doesn't look like driving inside as we probably want her to.
Well, I can understand that she's 43% from the three-point line for the season. But at the minute when you're none of 3, if you want to have an influence on the game, 2 things. You can stay there and back your percentage and keep shooting, or show the defense something different and get the ball on the rim.
Moon will get the first one to land. Second one doesn't go, and it's still that 1-point difference. It feels like we were at 42-40 for a long, long time.
Forestville looking to up the tempo here as well. Keeping that ball and moving it straight up the court.
Sturt again defensively will come away. Moon fires to Porter. This time Porter does put the ball on the floor, finds an outlet pass. 3-ball, no good. Hamilton has to work hard against Moon. Does enough.
Got Amy Cotton coming back in for the Eagles. It'll be interesting to see if Coach Bello brings her in for Hamilton, and they look to go small for a few minutes.
Nice inside ball, and Roberts will just re-cement that slight lead that Forestville have at the moment. Matthews again, works hard underneath, kicks out to Porter. Matthews to Porter. Porter contested 3. Didn't go. Moon. Good rebound. Then tried the inlet pass to Porter. Picked off by Forestville. She didn't fancy pulling the trigger. She had the time to do it. Now she has time. Back iron. There's a substitution. I didn't see a signal. It's gone Sturt's way.
I got a little bit fortunate there. It might have fallen off the back of the Sturt player there, but all of a sudden I think Hamilton labouring a bit. So I'm using her speed to get and agility to get past her a couple of times and grab the rebounds. Be interesting to see if Bello does pull the trigger on that substitution soon.
Well, Moon has gone. So it'll be interesting. So she is the tallest out there again, Hamilton. Yeah. Again, she looked longingly at the bench.
Am I in? Am I out? You're in.
Well, you stay where you are.
Well, as you say that as well, Sturt playing quite small as well in this sub.
Matthews to Smith. Smith has to work very hard. Can't quite make it count. Roberts will take control again, Locke. Gets it back. Fires from 3. Forestville come away with it again. Nice steal by Porter. Now she's one-on-one. Porter, all 3, makes them count.
Now she's on the board. think she'll take that next 3 ball now with just a little bit more confidence.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. A minute left in the quarter. See if you can pull one off in time.
Forestville again trying to find an opening. Sent it inside. Hamilton wasn't there.
Sturt's 2-3 zone causing some troubles.
Oh, inside ball to Smith, wide open.
So well drilled as a team, the Sturt Sabres. Just push that right under the basket and get that easy 2 points. And now they're in front as well. Sturt Sabres leading this one.
Good time to go zone 2 for the Sabres with Gabby Vidmar sitting on the bench.
They can't get it into Hamilton. It's been a massive difference. Matthews starts into direct traffic. Smith. Brett will hand it off. Good movement around the outside. Then they will kick it along the baseline, and then I think she just saw a flash of umpire shirt.
1.8 on the shot clock. Just enough time for a catch and shoot.
So you see Porter there get the layup.
And they want to try and get Porter free from this inbound. They're not going to because she's taking it.
Might go to angry here though.
That's good.
Called it early. Now Forestville have to shoot. Just before the buzzer. Lets it go. Nowhere near. So, 3/4 time. Sabres finally hit the front. After trailing for most of this game, you have to say. They are leading Forestville 45 points to 44. Benito, your thoughts?
Could go either way here. I think Sturt have the momentum now and it will be theirs to lose. I think they've got their players moving. Forestville have scored the same amount of points they did in the first quarter in the second and third. So their scoring has definitely dropped off a bit. It's going to be a low scoring one as well, just 45 to 44 at the final change.
Well, I think that's what we alluded to in the fact that Forestville defensively have been very good. Just breaking down in transition at the moment and allowing Sturt easy shots.
Yeah, Sturt's ball movement's pretty good. They're getting inside the paint, and Hamilton's influence on the game has dropped away. Didn't do much that quarter. Ruby Porter's last 2 touches resulted in 4 points, and Sturt willing to go to a zone and junk up the defense where Forestville's still sticking to that man-to-man.
I think with Hamilton, it's interesting because the more tired she becomes, the less likely she is to get off the ground, and that will bring Moon certainly into that competition. And we talked about it at the beginning of the third quarter. And certainly, if this was a boxing match, Hamilton took the first round.
Yeah,
she probably edged the second round on points, and then Moon will have taken the third round. She really came into it in the third quarter and shut Hamilton down.
Yeah, she did indeed. Just looking at the stats, 12 points and 8 rebounds from Hamilton. She didn't score that quarter, but she ended up with 3 extra rebounds. But Moon's done a great job locking her away.
So I might just point out another stat: 10 lead changes so far this match. So
it doesn't feel like it, does it?
It's been tough and gritty. 9 to 8 that quarter, that third term. So not many points scored. It was really quite defensive. I'm predicting that it opens up this final term though. These two teams really have nothing to lose and everything to win. Well, they have a lot to lose, but they have everything to win as well.
Just having a look at it as well, Hamilton has put on a 25-minute shift tonight. Really only Roberts is the only other player out there who's done a longer one. It's unusual for one of your bigs.
Yeah, definitely. The other thing I'm looking at here on the stat sheet is second chance points. Forestville have got 14 offensive rebounds, but only converted that into 8 points, which is really not enough. And then points from turnovers. Forestville have not scored from a Sturt turnover yet.
So now they will work into Hamilton. She is doubled, and they managed to get that. And the retro arrow says it will be Forestville ball.
Well, I say this as nicely as possible, but Forest will probably do need to find other avenues. Oceana Hamilton in last week's match had 22 minutes, but in the matches before, against Sturt, the last time they played, just 6 minutes, and in the match before that, just 8 minutes. So not used to this sort of exposure on court late in the match.
And another turnover, and Brett will work away. And the layup is good, and Angley will
That's too easy.
start to push the Sturt Sabres up.
Split line defense was lacking. She just beat her player and got on the rim without too much hassle.
Gone outside to Roberts, then they will come back to the top. It appears that only Vidmar is the one who wants to pull the trigger from out there. Roberts has a go, thought about it, decided against it.
I think if you Marcus, you stay in the zone. It's causing some disruption. I know they're only up 3, but that 3 could soon become 6 or 7. Then it's the biggest lead of the game, and then Forestville will be in trouble.
Since they changed to a zone, Forestville just found it hard to score in general.
Yeah.
So.
Now they go out, and now they can pull the trigger again, and again they're off. Only just, but off is off. Angley decides to come back. Finds Matthews. Matthews will drive. Hamilton rebounds. Looks for an outlet. Nobody wanted it, so she had a little bit of go at point guard. If you're missing from beyond the arc, Sturt will be happy to just sit and pick off the passes. You get the ball anyway. I must apologise to the Sturt coach. What's his Sturt coach's name?
Marcus Wong.
Marcus Wong. I work with an Eddie Wong. I think I referred to him as Eddie Wong at half time, so apologies, Marcus. And obviously a shout out to my friend Eddie, who I work with.
Amy Brett checking back in for the Eagles for Westhoff.
Might see Brett.
Oh, Matthews just pulls up. Front iron. Hard work again by Brett. Sturt now happy to control the pace. 8 minutes to go in this grand final. Matthews works hard inside. Finds to Brett, top of the arc, pulls the trigger. No good, comes out far enough that Hamilton can't affect the rebound. Now she pulls the trigger. Comes off the clock, so we'll go dead.
3 offenses in that trip with a couple of O boards and still couldn't convert. Maybe costly later on, but you just got to make those count.
Very similar to what we talked about in first or second quarter with Forestville. Basket will start to look like the eye of a needle if it won't go down. Excellent work over the back from Smith.
That's beautiful. That's a lovely play.
Really showed Chelsea Roberts on the other end how to do it as well. Can Forestville respond? They've gone cold.
Sturt by 5 is where we are right now. And the foul will go Forestville's right. Just look at the strength from Smith underneath.
Still trying to pump that ball inside to Hamilton. 3/4 front came a little bit late there, gave up the foul, but staying in that zone.
Look to drive, pull up. No good again. Big collision with Vidmar.
Great anticipation though from Vidmar though to read that.
She was in.
Pluck it, take the contact as well. Everything is on the line here. You see it again. Bang.
I think that was Brett who did her best to pretend like she didn't mean it.
73% from the foul line for the season for Gabby Vidmar.
First one is good, but he thought about it.
I wanted to point out something interesting as well. Have you ever had a grand final where both teams, no players in end of season awards really, no players in the All-Star 5 or defensive players? These two teams play a wholly team game. And
Well, yeah.
You wouldn't see it very often.
Well, the point I was about to make, well, that then proves team over individual, doesn't it?
For sure. But these two coaches as well, they're some of the most experienced in the game. They have had these teams for long periods of time as well, have really been able to instill their game plans. And we're watching it tonight. Can't really separate it.
Vidmar pulls the trigger. This time she hits the target. She's going to have to get going if they're going to get it back into it.
She scored most of their points the second half, Gabby Vidmar.
Yeah.
Made a decision to leave her, and Brett didn't mind the double team.
Bit of sauce on that move. Alyssa Brett with the spin and finish.
Interesting note to this point as well is both coaches, no timeouts in the second half. Just allowing the girls to play.
Oh, that's Hamilton on the right. Smith says no. You may have started off, but now you're in my house.
Yeah, Kylie Smith making the move onto Hamilton might be the masterstroke that shuts her down for good this match. Kylie Smith, of course, played college basketball, a quality player, has been all around the place and comes to the Premier League and has dominated. Oh, nice
Matthews
touch.
will keep it in and find the corner. Oh, that needed to go. And off they go again. Brett has to come back around and then looks. Baseline. Hands it off, then they do get inside. The finger roll works.
Throws it up like a frisbee. Rebecca Frisbee Smith, that's nice.
Bonito, that's terrible.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Matthews will control. Matthews driving again, finds herself double teamed. That's the way. Incredibly hard.
If there was a rookie of the grand final though, Frisbee Smith has been great off the bench.
Yeah, has delivered probably, well, I'd say there's been a few little wild cards for the Forestville Eagles. Hamilton herself was one, and now Frisbee Smith really playing a role. And on the bench late in this fourth quarter.
Talking about players who've impressed me, this is the second time I've seen this Sturt side play, as they will pull out and then go from the angle. Doesn't get there. Frisbee Smith, you give her a big up. She will come and play. Anticipation and just finished.
I'll put my neck on the line. If she keeps it up for the next 4 minutes, she's a chance for MVP of the game.
Well, Forestville have taken the lead back as well. Keep that noted.
Sturt again looking inside. Frisbee Smith does enough. Oh, nearly turned over. Looking to transition fast and hard. Poked away, just ran out of ideas. Matthews hands it off to Brett.
Goodman knew she gave that one away. But
just watch the replay, and Frisbee Smith was the first to react. Reacted faster than our camera operators.
that's a memo and a call at the same time.
I just want to talk about, like I started saying, and they're all going to be frantic. I've seen Sturt a couple of times. On both times I've been very, very impressed by Matthews. The first one doesn't go down. This is a very epitome of punching above your weight.
Absolutely. Not the tallest girl on the court, but just the tenacity. Just having a go, and good things happen when you work hard.
Second one falls to bring us all level. 4:20 on the clock. Vidmar goes to the top to Roberts. Brett takes her time, then looks into Hamilton. Hamilton, she's back to release. First real chance that she's been open. Sturt have done such a good job of putting her under pressure in the paint. Matthews, step back, goes to Smith, to Brett. Catch and release for Brett. Come again, Frisbee Smith, the rising star, starting to come into it. Vidmar.
5 seconds.
Out to Frisbee.
Quarter?
Of course.
More. Me down.
Yeah, out of Mississauga. Oceana Hamilton.
Rebound and get the foul.
Yeah, so here it comes. So Marcus Wong just called a timeout. Clock management becomes very important now. He knows the rule. If he doesn't call the timeout now, once it gets to 2 minutes, he loses one, and then he can only finish the game with 2. Okay. And the other thing that's an issue maybe down the stretch is Forestville sitting on 1 foul. So when it comes to stopping the clock and sending someone to the line later on, it'll be interesting. Sitting on 1 foul means they may have to rack them up if they don't hold this lead.
So 2 minutes 50 to go. Forestville by 5 at the moment. But let's take a second, because when you brought out your terrible frisbee line initially, I knew you've been set on that for 3.5 quarters. So that just goes to show at what point Frisbee Smith has come into this.
It wasn't quite creative enough, was it, Frisbee? It just came off the tongue. It was natural. But yeah, you're right. I didn't have much background information on it because generally I didn't expect her to have a substantial impact on the match. To see her come on and do what Monica Bellows asked her more is just...
I can see you looking. She's 5 from 5 from the field.
100%.
3 from 3 from 2-point land. 2 from 2 from 3-point land. It doesn't get... Well, it's perfect.
She's played a great game. It's a cameo off the bench. We talked earlier on about the Forestville women's program producing champions and college players, and there's another one.
Yep. And 3-point shooting, 7 from 19 for the Forestville Eagles. Sturt Sabres, 3 from 26.
And the crowd is starting to get into it, especially away to our right. There's a group of Eagles fans. Hamilton.
That's lovely.
Hamilton. She may have heard us talking about the MVP voting. She's like, no, it is mine. She has changed how she's played, but she's still getting openings on the left. Rolls around the back, good rebound by Moon, puts it back.
Too tall.
Brett carries the ball for the Eagles, Vidmar. Sturt just taking the time.
Forestville just lost their timeout. One got put up on the board.
Intercepted, gotta work back, gotta work hard.
Good move.
Not hard enough, nice Euro step. Porter brings it to within 5.
And there you see the one timeout left now.
Exactly right. So it ticked under the 2 minutes. The score bench put the timeout up, and that should be, if it went to Forestville, that'll be her second timeout.
Yeah.
There it is.
Now, go back to last year's grand final. Clock management was pretty crucial in that one as well. Monica Bello, of course, playing with a ridiculously young team against the experience of Joy Hill, Lauren Metcalf and co for North Adelaide. She used up all their timeouts with the 3-minute mark remaining, knowing the tide was kind of moving against her side, and then in the last 3 minutes it was kind of like paintball against a team of like primary school kids. The Forestville Eagles really struggled after that. So these timeouts really important, and as Scott said, just having one left for the final minute 45 is dicey.
So this is where the coaches earn the money.
Yeah, not only that, it's the ability now. Hopefully she's communicating to the team now, look girls, we're only on one foul. We're not putting anyone in the bonus yet if we need to stop the clock. So it's important when we're fouling to bring that foul count up. We're doing it in such a way that it doesn't look deliberate, it's not unsportsmanlike, and we can make it happen easily. But they're in front, so it may never come to that.
Yeah, that 7-point margin down to a 3-point margin now though, 56 to 59. It's going to be close.
Whereas Sturt already in fouls.
Yep.
And at the moment, as things stand, Sturt will be the ones who want to stop the clock.
Yep. You'll get that way. Still staying in that 2-3 zone.
Brett looks for Frisbee Smith, kicks it out to Roberts. Into Frisbee Smith, works really hard underneath. Would have been an absolute miracle if it had gone.
She's missed her first shot for the game.
Smith looks to go paint. Then will kick out. Porter.
Just 5 on the clock.
Manages to get line. Hamilton. Not once, not twice. 3 times she says no. We just got a shot of the Forestville coach who is making every pass, taking every shot. Hamilton. Oh, just didn't go. Sturt will go again. 3 points the difference. Smith, less than a minute to go. Pulls the trigger from outside, doesn't go. Think Sturt have done it. Clever work from Smith.
Gabby Vidmar doing a really good job of just denying Angley the ball, chasing her all around, tagging her like it's Chris Judd.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's almost like West Coast 2006 all over again, isn't it? But this is an incredible match. This timeout called again. Who do you go to if you're the Sabres here on this possession? 14 on the clock.
Well, it's a two-possession game, definitely.
Yep.
Possibly a three, but I can't see Forestville allowing that to happen. It would be a coach killer if it turns into a three-possession game. It's definitely a two-possession game. So Sturt they have to hit the three.
Well, Forestville would have taken that last shot as well. Lauren Gibbons shooting that one. They've got, when you have players like Angley and Porter and Smith all on the court, to be able to shut those three players down, and I mean, you give up the look, but they're all shooters and they could all change this game. It's 3 points in it. Just one play could really dictate the outcome of this one.
We've talked about Hamilton drying up at the offensive end, but 4 blocks and a couple of consecutive ones in the last minute or so. You'd want her inside the paint on this defensive set.
Well, they're standing there right in front of Angley to begin with. It's hard to see. It's got to be free from Smith. Step back, sends it. Nothing. Porter works really hard, gets underneath. Still 2 possessions. They will go out to Hamilton. Referees want to stop everything.
He's worried about the shot clock.
I think he's worried about something. Yeah,
Shot clock didn't start, I don't believe.
So there will have to be a reset. They're going to go back.
What a time for that. With the clock at 25.
So we're going to go back to 26.2.
Marcus making a big, strong point not to foul.
So it is 2 possessions. They need a turnover. They need nothing. They'll give them 2 seconds to get something off. Happy to get inside. Roberts. Frisbee Smith.
Expect Roberts to run this play.
10 seconds.
Goes inside to Hamilton. Outside to Pratt. Pratt with the crossover. Pratt will go!
Timeout, Sturt.
Pratt will score!
And this is it.
3 points of difference. 3.6 seconds on the clock.
It's good to see the Forestville girls huddle as a team on the court before going to the timeout and listening to the coach, just making sure that they're all on the same page. They've settled down and they know they're the ones with the lead. Sturt got everything to do.
Defensively, everything has been absolutely fantastic all night. The one time she gets the crossover, sprained the ankles more than broke them, but did enough.
Now, Scott, you're drawing up your final play here.
Look, Marcus is a good coach. There'd be plays that he would, or end-game plays, or after-timeout plays, whatever they call them at Sturt, that they would have run and practiced all year. So what you'd want to do as a coach here is show the girls something that they're familiar with. We've run it before, we've practiced it, so it's nothing brand new that they haven't seen. And I'm sure Marcus, with his WNBL background as well, is putting a play in front of them that they're confident to run and that they've seen a lot of times.
Hamilton is still there.
This is big. Forestville could be taking this out after losing by 15 to the Sabres just 2 weeks ago.
Smith will inbound, come all the way across to Matthews. Matthews just pulls the trigger, still there. It doesn't go. It ends in the hands of Carl Roberts and Forestville Eagles are the 2019 Women's Premier League champions. It was a hard-fought 4 quarters, and the girls from Forestville come away with the win.
Mondello joins them, very excited on the bench, but I think it's a huge upset.
I genuinely think that's an upset as well. We saw Vidmar, when their scoring dried up in the third term, I thought that might be it for them, but they just fought back. How good was Frisbee Smith in the last term? Hamilton throughout the match. Gabby Vidmar with her 3 triples as well. Just proved the difference. They got past that 60-point barrier and more importantly kept the Sabres to under 60 for the match. The highest scoring side in the league. Phenomenal stuff.
Super impressed with Frisbee Smith. 12 points. She averages 2.5. Yeah, 3 girls really being the difference. And popping up at different times during the game.
Yeah.
Hamilton dominant early. And like you said, Vidmar, when it counted, sticking the 3 balls that we knew she could put in.
Yeah. And Brett as well with those 9 points, including the crucial one at the end. Just played it perfectly.
Frisbee Smith did really fly under the radar.
Yeah.
And I think for that reason, for mine, MVP goes to Oceana Hamilton.
Yeah.
Just what...
Yeah.
She didn't start. She started on the bench and literally turned the game around when she came on.
Played a lot of minutes. Scored points early, but defensively, really
35 minutes. 35 minutes from one of your tall timber. That's a huge amount of work to get done, and you can see how much it means to these Forestville girls.
Big thank you to Kelly, Paul,
they would have come into this. Everybody would have had them as the underdog for this entire week. Running up to this, everybody would have had them as the underdog.
Yeah.
They played very, very well.
Played out of the skin, stuck to the game plan, and didn't really let that zone phase them. Once they hit a couple of threes against the zone, yeah, it just kept them in the game.
Okay, so we will step out and we will leave it with the interviews on the court.
I just want to say, going in Forestville, you came out really hard, and we just didn't play our best basketball. I think we had a great season, but wasn't our night, so that's all right. Kylie. I don't know what to do. Ruby. Alyssa. Meg. Lizzie. Gibbo. Zoe. Jazz. Gladdy. Raya. Tash. And Danny. And our coach, do I call the coaches? And the Joe, assistant. Marcus, our head coach. Neil, our other assistant. Yeah. And I just want to say thanks to Daniel, Michelle and Maz, our team manager, and all the girls who have been out to training every week to help us out with numbers. Thank you.
Boys, put your hands together for the Sturt Sabres. Fantastic season, just falling short. Before we get the co-captains from the Forestville Eagles up to receive their winners' trophies, I'd like to announce the MVP for the 2019 Premier League season. From the Forestville Eagles, Oceana Hamilton. Her award being presented by Mark Lampshire from Basketball South Australia. Do you want to say something? Go ahead and say a few words, Oceana, go ahead.
I just want to thank my teammates, coaching staff, everybody. You guys were awesome. I want to give credit to Sturt. You guys really kicked our butt the whole season, and I'm just glad we had a good game. And thanks to the crowd for coming out. Really appreciate it.
And we've now got Paul Bloom from State Technics to present the awards to the Forestville Eagles. We would like to now welcome up co-captains of the Forestville Eagles. Please welcome up Megan Quinn and Gemma Westhoff.
Wow. First and foremost, thank you to Sturt, guys. You're amazing competitors. Every year we know we're going to come up tough against you. You did a great job tonight. We'd like to say a big thank you to our amazing crowd and support. We heard you the whole way through the game, and you really got us going there in the third and fourth quarter, so thank you. A big thank you to Mons and Dee and Hannah, our coaching staff, our support staff, Colin and Andy, our amazing girls, the kids that are around the club. It's just an amazing feel around the club at the moment. It's great to be around. Last of all, an amazing thank you to this great bunch of girls. We've come up against some huge adversities this year, and we got there, girls. We deserve it, and let's enjoy it. So, well done.
Do I start naming? All right, we'll start with Oceana. You! Got Shay. Amy. Hand, get up there. You. Charlie. Amber. Chelsea. Gabs. Amy. Beck. We've got our coaches, Mons. Dee, go on. Are you getting up there? Andy, come on. Up you get. Ooh. Yeah, go on. And Cole, come on, get up there. Good job. Let's go. And us co-captains, come on.
And to present the championship trophy, Paul Bloom, if you can pass that off to Megan and to Gemma. Gemma, Megan, go grab your championship trophy and take it back to your team. Go get your trophy, that's all yours. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for the Forestville Eagles Champions 2019 Premier League season.
Unbelievable night. Unbelievable night. Sturt flying high all year, and they won the one that mattered. Scott, your insight.
Mate, unbelievable looking at the stat sheet while the presentations were going on. Forestville win that grand final shooting the ball 15 times less than Sturt do. Eagles giving up 21 turnovers and Sturt getting 21 offensive rebounds. But the biggest stat that jumps off the page for me is the second half for Forestville from the three-point line, 0 of 16. They were 3 of 13 at the half. They end the game 3 of 29. Hard to win shooting that percentage.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to step away. Thank you very much for joining us for the Premier League for the women. We will be back with the men. Benito and Scott will join me again. We are going to take a break and go and reset ourselves if possible. Thank you very much for spending your time with us, and we'll speak to you again soon.